Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over another premium medium question in the database category that I just solved on my own. So again, I'm really glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any assistance, and I thought it was pretty easy. So let me show you how I did it. This one's called the most recent orders for each product, and let's go down here. So it asks you to write a solution to find the most recent orders of each product. Obviously, most recent orders means the date is the latest. So 829 is obviously later than 730, 731's later than 730. So here, basically for each product, you want to report the latest ones. So for keyboard, so product ID 1, we would look here, and the keyboard would be 731 is one entry, 729 is another entry, 801 is one entry, 801 is another entry. So as you can see for keyboard, 801 is the latest date. So we're going to include both of those entries. And then you do that for mouse and screen as well. So let's go ahead and first of all map the product ID to the product name so that we can fetch that when we need, because we're going to need that in the result. So for IP and enumerate products, product ID, let's just say D of P is equal to products, product name of I. Okay, so that now there's a unique key to each value mapping, so we can retrieve this value in the future. So now what we want to do is go over the orders table. So this is everything that happened. Okay, I don't think the customer's name is relevant. Didn't think I need to use that. So for I, O, it enumerates orders. Let's look at so let's think about how we want to do this. So why don't we use the order date, and because we're going to have to sort by the order date. So why don't we first use the product ID as the key, and then get everything else and then sort by the order date. So let's make a default dict of type list, and the key is going to be the product ID. So let's go ahead and do that again. Let's loop through this column from top to bottom. That's what this for loop is for. Okay, so now we're going to say, so this is the product ID, this is obviously going to be the key, and we're going to append these three. So obviously we're going to append the orders, order date of I. So this is a date time object. So what we're going to do is string of this dot split 0 to get what we need. So now we can just say OD, and then we're also going to append the customer ID. So what order do we want it in? So let's just line everything else up. The product ID, well, that's the key. And then the order ID, you know what? That's fine. Let's just get the order dates and then the order ID. And then also the customer ID. Cool. So then we obviously want to sort this, which is going to sort by this. And let's just loop over this, and let's print K and DD of K. So that should give us each product ID, but it doesn't. So product ID, okay, so let's actually say the value is D of O, and then do this because we want to see the keyboard instead of 1. Okay, cool. So now the data is a little easier to read, so we can say, hey, we want the biggest date. The biggest date, there's only one of them. The biggest date, there's only one of them for mouse and screen. The 2 entries for keyboard. Okay, so let's call this biggest, and that's just going to be the last subarray's first element, right? So DD of K of -1, so that last sublist, and then the 0th one. So let's print biggest just to make sure we got the correct biggest date. Cool. So now that makes our job easier because we can just loop through this list, and then we can say if a of 0 is equal to biggest, then we know that these two are going to be part of a result. So answer.append. What are we appending? Well, we want obviously the name of the product itself, and then the product ID, which is going to be, so let's first take care of the order date because we know we're going to need that. So biggest, and then the product ID and the order ID. So the order ID is just going to be a of 1, and then the product ID I think is going to be a of 2. I'm not sure, but let's see. Let's print our answer. Keyboard, mouse, screen. Awesome. So keyboard, the product ID, and the order ID are not correct. So the product ID, we can probably just fetch that back. So this is probably kind of messy, but I'm gonna create another dictionary to products, product name, and we're gonna do the opposite of what we did here. Product ID of I, and then we're just going to use that. So now we have the actual product ID. So instead of A1, we can just say M of K. Cool. So now we have the product ID for that, but now we need the order ID. So the order ID is just going to be A of 0, A of 1, right? So A of 1. Just seeing what we lined up previously. Cool. So, okay. So this lines up. This lines up. Awesome. So now we basically have our answer, because what this asks us to do finally is sort it by the product name, the product ID, and the order ID. Which product name, product ID, order ID. So let's just say answer.sort key equals lambda x0, x1, x2. Makes our job very easy. Get rid of these. Clean up the console. Okay, cool. So now we have exactly what we need, and we just have to fetch it now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 columns. 4 columns. For a and answer, 1.append a of 0, 2.append a of 1, 3.append a of 2, and 4.append a of 3. Okay, and then obviously we just have to create a data frame now, a table, and then set each column product name. So this one is equal to 1, this one product ID equal to 2, and vice versa. Order ID equals 3. Order date is 4. And then let's return the result, and let's run this. Okay, submit it. And there you go. Passes all test cases. Again, I'm really glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question really easily and solve it on my own. So, yep, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.